Ahead of us. So we will want to go quickly through the agenda for the workshop. The first agenda item is the introduction of the participants. All of us will introduce ourselves. Then we will have a welcome remarks by Mr. Fabio. Then remarks by the training provider representative, Mr. Keba Sida. Remarks by the industry representative, Mr. Edwin Dati. Then we will have Mr. Bitey to do the presentation on the curriculum development concept. Then we will have tea break just for 10 minutes because we know some are fasting. Then we will start the group work because we want to make sure that the validation goes through for all the 8 areas that we have identified, and all the content experts that are here will have to work on that, because at the end of the day, we will have to make the presentations. Then we will have another break for about 30 minutes again to allow those who are not fasting, and then for those who are fasting and everybody who wants to go and pray can pray. Then we will come back at 2 o'clock. Then we will continue the group discussions, and then the closing remarks after the plenary. The closing remarks will be delivered by Mr. Bitey. Now, can we have introductions, including also those who are representing the media here? We can start from the high table here. My name is Abdullah Loum. I am the TVET consultant and the lead consultant for the development of the curriculum for GIZ that has been identified. And
my name is Keba Sila. I'm from Stalin Consortium. I am representing the training providers.
My name is Montari. I'm Director of Staff Service and Chief Trainer at Staff Consortium.
Fabio Germano, I represent the German development agency, GIZ.
My name is Salman Mutinde.
First of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to our institutional partners, NACA, and the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology for the durable cooperation we hope to engage in for the next 3 years. I would like also to extend my thanks and appreciation to the team of 16 curriculum experts coming from training providers on the one hand and the industry on the other, led by our lead consultant, Mr. Loom. I would also like to welcome and thank the additional 16 experts who have joined us today for the first time. Allow me maybe to just give you a few bits of information on the context we are working in. GIZ is part of a team of international agencies operating within a framework of the Techie Fee program, Make It in the Gambia. This is a program that is funded by the European Union and will be running for the next 3 years. Its main objective is to engage in a series of activities, hopefully resulting in greater employability of the Gambian youth, but also trying to enhance the business landscape. So one of the main contributions of this program has that of engaging in the TVET sector, and we have had the pleasure just a few days ago to inaugurate at Mohurst, the Ministry of Higher Education, the National TVET Committee, which we are part. And within that committee, there is a strong investment here in the Gambia in trying to restructure the entire TVET sector. Our contribution as GIZ is that of training roughly 1,200 youths in the next 3 years. It's a huge task, also considering that there is limited time, limited resources. As you know, the economy is still frail and gradually picking up. So on the one hand, there's a serious dilemma that needs to be faced, but on the other, I think we are all very confident that with the efforts of all of us converging to the same objective, we can actually make a significant contribution. We have started by conducting a first market assessment, which has enabled us to determine the key trade areas in which we think that young people can engage in and more easily find their way into the labor market. So among these trade areas, we have 8 that are going to be the object of this curriculum development process. And so we're going to go into the details later on. So I'm not going to touch on these 8 trade areas. But what I want to say is that they have been identified as potentially high with a high relevance for the market, and considering all the constraints that we have and that I just mentioned, okay, in terms of resources, in terms of time, in terms of the economy being what it is, I think we need to invest very seriously in laying a very strong foundation, okay, for these young people to be able to find their way in the labor market. And this is why we would like to start with the adaptation, the development of these curricula, which are not just for the GIZ or the Techie Fee program. They are meant to be a contribution to the TVET landscape in the Gambia in general. So this is probably the most significant starting point for us, and we are very, very happy to have you here in this room to contribute to this process. But also we would like to continue working with you for the next 3 years. So our particular contribution has been to trying to enrich the curricula that have already been implemented in the last few years. So enriching them with life skills, with career counseling, literacy, applied math, entrepreneurship training, technical drawing. So these are all elements that we would like to add on to these curricula to make them more relevant for the labor market. But I think probably the most significant contribution is coming from all of you in trying to really adapt them to the needs of the labor market, so that there is a perfect matchmaking, a perfect connection between what is taught in the classrooms and what is really needed in the market. So I think this is something that we are really looking forward, because we all hope that it can really contribute to facilitating the integration of these young people as they look for employment or self-employment. So having said this, I wish all of us a very fruitful workshop, and also allow me to express to all of you my sincere wishes for a blessed Ramadan to you and all your families. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will now call on Mr. Keba Silla, the representative of the training provider.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and privilege to deliver a statement on behalf of the training providers on this auspicious historic occasion. The validation of this significant workshop on 8 thematic areas is timely and very relevant to the cause of TVET development in the Gambia, and the training providers and employers are always advocating for standardized curriculum that will be used by all TVET institutions across the country and represent the reality of 21st century and can cope with the challenging environment. Standardized educational curriculum is the first pillar to the success of any educational goal, as it lays the foundation to make sustainable impacts. Further to that, It ensures that the students receive integrated, coherent learning experience that contribute towards their personal, academic, and professional development, and mostly important to be able to solve society problems with innovative solutions while earning economic gains. Ladies and gentlemen, that being said, the curriculum that we are about to scrutinize this morning has been developed through rigorous consultation from all relevant stakeholders. The important component of this curriculum would generate synergy, improve learning quality, and minimize skill gap or mismatch that employers are crying for. All this is. The curriculum will also give opportunity for learners to integrate easily into JSQ framework and further enhance their academic and professional development. This is a great opportunity for we the TVET institution to register meaningful gain in their quest for excellence, and therefore it is paramount for each and every one of us to take ownership of the curriculum. Follow it to the latter and always seek feedback so that we can keep improving and adapt to reality of changing environment. In short, let me say, to whom much is given, much is expected. We are the one choosing, so let us give our best. It's a day workshop, so we have opportunity to amend, to give comments, and to make this curriculum very rich one so that it can meet the reality in the market. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, I would like to seize this opportunity to thank, on behalf of my colleagues and the government of the Gambia, to thank GIZ and EU Trust Fund for taking such a laudable initiative. I am now hopeful that our TVET institution would produce graduates that would fit not only in the labor market, but develop their own enterprise and create more meaningful jobs. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stiller. We'll now go on to the representative from the industry, Mr. Edmond Dati.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I am not the chairman, so I would like everyone to hear your voice because I'm presenting you. First of all, I would like to talk about the curriculum, the format that has been given to us to develop it. It's very educative and solid, reliable for training. The curriculum is going to make a very big impact on our youth skills training this year. It demands a lot of wisdom to develop it, and a lot of wisdom has been utilized in developing it, which is going to make a big impact on the youth training. It has a full of knowledge and skills. As it is said, to whom much is given, much is expected from, because much knowledge has been utilized in developing this curriculum. So best result we expect. For example, the tanker aspect, the tanker drawing aspect, and the mathematical aspect, all full of knowledge and skills, very educative and skillful. And tanker drawing and applied mathematics is the first time it has been introduced, and very educative. I am very glad to say the industry areas, this brilliant curriculum will close the gap between the old technicians and the new training ones. The training ones comes out with excellent and wonderful with this curriculum. Best result we shall achieve, and best technician we shall produce 2020. Thank you.
On the development of the curriculum, some people will ask, why do we bother about TVET curriculum? The simple reason is that, like in general education, the curriculum for TVET is the heart of the training. It determines the range and type of skills that is supposed to be acquired by those in the training institutions. there should not be any mismatch between what is taught in the training institutions and what is practiced in industry. That is why our content experts, who we are invited to develop the curriculum, we are paired together with both those representing the training institutions and those who are from the industry, so that we will not have any mismatch. What is practiced in industry is what is supposed to be taught in the training institutions. Many country reports in our sub-region, for example, the ECOWAS synthesized reports from the various countries of the 15 member countries have revealed that the curriculum that we are using in our training institutions were outdated and with dilapidated infrastructure, TVET infrastructure. The equipment does not match with what is in industry, and the curriculum that is taught were outdated, the content was outdated. So for the simple reason, this is why we said, let us make sure that any curriculum that is developed has to have the representatives from industry, from the private sector, from the public sector, and the training institutions, both private and public training institutions. Those other content experts that we have invited today, who we are not part of the development of the curriculum, have been invited also to look at what the content experts have done on the development of these 8 skill areas. If you look at the curriculum that has been developed, there is a linkage between the technology, the applied mathematics, and the technical drawing combined. In some institutions and in some curriculum, they are separated. You have the technology component, then you have the related studies, which covers both the technical drawing, the mathematics, and some of the other English and computing programs being separated. But for this particular curriculum, it is a specialized curriculum that all those who are coming into these programs will have to do a combination of both the technology, the mathematics, and the applied mathematics together with the technical drawing component that goes together with the technology. This is why it is a specialized curriculum, and the institutions that are going to implement will have to make sure that the sharing of this curriculum goes beyond those institutions that have been identified. It is a curriculum that has been, a lot of effort has been done in the development of this curriculum. And the representative of NACA, who is responsible for curriculum development, Mr. Almami Kinte, is here. As Mr. Bitey said, the curriculum after the validation will be subjected to corrections, doing a review, and then after the review, it will be subjected to submission to NACA for approval. And once it is approved, the curriculum is going to be implemented in many of the institutions. And we hope that those training institutions who have been represented here will also have the opportunity to look at this curriculum and then implement it in their various training institutions. Now for that, I will now move on to the next agenda, which is we are going to have a break for 10 minutes. And then when we come back, we will have the groups, the 8 groups that we have formed in these 8 skill areas, so that we work on the curriculum. It's a long day, as I said, and we have to make sure that we complete the validation of all the curriculum. Let us look at the content carefully. Let us look at also the structuring of the content. From known to unknown, from simple to complex, what are the sequences of this curriculum that has been developed? We will have to look at that and then make our recommendations, as Mr. Bidej has just said. Thank you very much.